Hey BMW fans, today I'm going to be filming a car tour video of my 2020 BMW 330i. This is my third BMW and I've had this car for about 3 months. I purchased the car from Crevier BMW in Santa Ana, California. I worked with Faraz, he's one of the internet sales managers there, and he was very helpful and he made the process super simple. So this car is pretty base standard model. I don't usually go for a lot of the extra options. The only thing extra that came on this car was the parking assistance package and heated seats. Ideally, I would have liked a car that didn't have any options, but those are pretty hard to come by. Luckily, Crevier had a very large inventory, so I was able to find the one that I wanted, and it's pretty common. I got a white, Alpine white exterior with black Sensatec interior, so those are pretty easy to come by. Before this car, I had a 320i. I actually had two 320i's. The first one was a 2014 320i BMW. That was in the mineral gray color. I got that in May of 2014. And then after that, I purchased a 2017 320i in jet black. And that had the sport package, which I really liked because it had the M Sport steering wheel, the sport seats, and it had a larger wheel, which made the car look a lot better in my opinion. And then after that 3 Series, then I went ahead and got another one because I really like this car. So I went with the 2020 330i, which is the total new redesigned model. And so far I'm really liking it. This car has a lot more standard features than my last car. For example, I've never had a sunroof, which is a pretty common feature. I've never had power seats, which didn't really bother me because I was the only one who drove this car, but a lot of my friends, they would get in the car and they wouldn't know how to maneuver the seat. So that was always a hassle. So I kind of like having the power seats now. I never had a backup camera, which I got used to, not really a necessity. I never had parking sensors, which I've actually really grown to like when I'm parallel parking, which in Orange County, you don't really have to do that often. But like when you're in Laguna Beach, for example, they're helpful. What else? I've never had heated seats, which I didn't think that I would ever use, but every morning on the way to work, I tend to use them. I really like that feature. What else? I've never had navigation. This car has nav. Nav is standard on the 2020 model, which I tend to use just for fun. Like I don't really have a reason not to. What else does this car have that my other one did not have? I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much everything. The 320 was meant to be a very basic model for people to kind of get into the brand for their first BMW, which I liked because I was young when I got my first car. I was 19, almost 20 when I got my first 3 Series. And it was a good way to kind of get into the brand because the price point was good, the lease price was good. But with this new 3 Series model, I don't think they're going to be coming out with a 320. BMW recently came out with a 2 Series Grand Coupe, which I believe is going to be replacing that 320 kind of segment of the buyer. So now there's no more 320, but the new 2 Series, I think it's the 230i Grand Coupe, that will be replacing, or maybe some 320 buyers will go for the 2 Series now. But yeah, so far this car has been great. There also was a huge power upgrade, which has been nice because the 320, it had a 4-cylinder twin turbo, but I only had 180 horsepower. This car, it has a twin turbo 4-cylinder as well, but I have 255 horsepower, which that's a big jump for me, which I really like. And my gas mileage is better on this car, which is kind of funny. It's like 3 or 4 miles per gallon better. I noticed though, I have been driving this car a little bit more cautiously because it's still new and I kind of baby it, but I'm sure my mileage might get worse over time. So the other feature that I didn't really discuss more on was the parking assistance package, which I find I don't really enjoy. When I first started driving the car, I had all the safety features on. And the one thing that I really didn't like was if I ever wanted to make a lane change, I had to put my blinker on, because if I started to change lanes without my blinker, it would correct me back into the lane, which I don't really like, because if there's no one around and you want to make a quick little lane change, you don't want that. So I did end up disabling the lane departure assistance, where it kind of puts you back in your lane. The steering wheel still vibrates, but I can still change lanes without blinking, which I like. The one thing I also find helpful is, let's say it does have kind of assisted braking. So if the car in front of you starts to brake suddenly and you don't brake soon enough, it will alert you, it will beep, which is nice because sometimes you're not paying attention. But now let me show you some shots of the interior here, and then we'll go to the outside. So this is the new interior, which I'm really liking. It's a huge upgrade from my old one. There's the nav screen. Here's the instrument cluster. Yeah, it's a huge upgrade. I really like it. And now we'll go to the outside.